So let's talk about the ego. I'm on a late night walk. Just crossed my mind that, we all have an ego. That part of us that tells us we're special. It sabotages almost everything in your life when you think about it. I have an ego. It sabotages a lot of things for me. I'll be the first to admit. But I think the trick or the lesson you can learn is to notice when the ego is loud. You look around and you can ego in Washington D.C. Huh? Ego in Guyana. You know who is me? That's the ego. It doesn't embrace humility or I'm sorry or I made a mistake. The ego is arrogance. It tells you you're always right no matter what. It tells you, you know, you can treat people anyhow without facing any repercussions. Huh? It sabotages you. It makes you feel invincible, you know. But if you just pay attention to it, because the intellect, that brain of yours or that brain of ours, that that says to you, wait a minute, that wasn't right. Don't do that. Yuri, you could handle this in a better manner. That's that's the intellect talking. That's the intellect telling you that you need to humble yourself. Humility, humility is virtue, not not arrogance. And you run into a lot of people who, um, cocky, arrogant. I don't have to mention names. Look around all over the world. Wherever there's a war, ego, greed, and greed flourishes too, right? Because the ego is never satisfied. And so, no matter how much you have financially, health wise, or whatever, the ego said, go for more, take more from that person, sabotage this, you know. And as I grow older, I began to notice the things that sometimes bother me. And I said to myself, Yuri, don't do it. The whole still tongue keeps a wise head principle is a very good thing. You become aware, and then you say to you don't even have to say it. The ego is just cover in a corner. You crawl under the table and hide. I don't know if the ego has a gender. Not agenda. Agender. The ego could be male or female, right? um, but it's funny because uh, you tend to get complacent and fall into this kind of space where um, you think you know, that you'll be here forever, that you'll be around forever, and you won't get old, and nobody will hold you accountable. Something holds you accountable, whatever you might believe or not believe in, you know, it gets back to you. And I'm at a place in my life now where I I can safely say that whenever it rears its ugly head, I'm not saying I have a 100% control of it, but awareness helps you to helps you through the rough waters of egotism. Um, and it kind of brings you down to some form of humility. I could go on and on, but that's just my little thing that popped into my head. A nice evening stroll.